Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the title down below, I'm going to be showing you guys how I organize our homeschool without a schoolroom or a designated school space. If you guys saw my last video, which was my January recap, you will have known by now that our room that we previously used as a schoolroom, it had to be completely torn out because of some water damage. And even when we do completely redo and redo that entire space, we're actually not going to be turning it back into a schoolroom. Instead, we're going to be utilizing it for a bedroom. Honestly, it's going to serve our family much better, even though I do miss having a designated space for just our school things. So today I thought I would show you kind of how I've organized everything within our home. I was able to kind of find places for everything and use what we already have. So I reorganized our entire, all of our homeschool things without having to buy a single thing, which I was very excited about because for all of January, I was on a no buy, and I'm still trying to continue that here into February. So that's why I did not want to buy anything organizational. And another thing with organizational items is I did not want to, if at all possible, buy organizational things just to store things that were not needed. So if you also saw my last video, you will have known that in January we really went through our entire house and simplified it. However, I'm also going to say that I am not a minimalist at all, especially when it comes to homeschooling things. There are things that I hold on to, especially the non-consumable books and the non-consumable textbooks and stuff I still have on hand. So anyway, I'm going to be taking you throughout my living space here and show you kind of how I have organized our homeschooling things. So on the top here, I just have a basket of play food. Do you want to play with this one? Yeah, you want to play with this one? In this basket, I have all of our little magnetic foods. That's the other thing I forgot to mention to you guys as well, is this space here that we lost wasn't just our school space, it was also our play area. So in this basket here is all the magnetic little fruits and veggies that little ones like cutting, and that's stored in one basket on the top. And that basket we already had, so we've been able to utilize that even more. In this next basket here, I ended up putting all of our little wooden dress-up dollies, like those Melissa and Doug dollies. So I ended up putting those here. And then in this basket, I have some other fruits and veggies. Do you want to play with these too? You want to play with all the food? There you go. There you go. You're welcome. On the top shelf here, I keep all of my personal Bible study things I'm currently working on, or books that I'm currently reading. I always keep on the top section here. And on the bottom shelf here, of course, I have all of our McGuffies. I have both the originals and the revised. I do not actually keep the McGuffies with any of my other curriculum. I always just keep them separate. I don't know why. I think they just probably stay nicer because they're not on the kids' actual school rack. So I just keep them here. Let me grab the camera and I'll show you what I put inside. So in this cabinet, what I ended up doing is I have all of our little math type things. So I have our coins up here for our counting money. I have little pattern blocks up here for any activities that we're doing with that. And then down here on the bottom, I also have some word counters. I have a couple little clocks down here. And then I also have some play money, a little jar of miscellaneous counters and things like that. So this is pretty much a designated, just a math manipulative type thing. And honestly, I don't even use these for our math curriculum, at least now I don't. These are things that if we are running an afternoon activity and I want to pick for the day a concept or something to work on, this is where I'll pull from. We'll either play some clock games, we'll do some addition games using decks of cards, or we'll just play store together as a family and use the money for counting money. But these are all almost activities versus just math manipulatives, but that's all what's in this cabinet. And then down here on our first one, I just have all of our scissors. I have a few pencil grips. I ended up keeping these, even though my first and second grader don't need these anymore. I ended up keeping them to have on hand for my preschooler who's going to be using these this fall. I have another couple erasers in here. So this is just kind of a catch-all for yes, I see, for the school necessity. So all of our, scissors. I have some glue sticks in here. It's not perfectly organized, as you can tell, but all of our necessities are in one place, and so it does serve us pretty well. So in the next cabinet here on the top shelf, I have some chalk, which I'll show you the little slate board I have. I have googly eyes, and then a big thing of acrylic paint that we use quite often. And then on the second part, I have our little jar of paintbrushes. I have the kiddos' little lead pencil stash here. I do keep these separate separate from our regular pencils, which I'll show you here in a minute, because my toddlers like to bite the erasers off and then dump out the lid for fun. So if my first and second grader want to use a mechanical pencil, they know where they are. They're just right here. So there's that. And then in the back here, I have all of my personal kind of Bible study things. I have a little thing here full of my highlighters and then some washi tape that I use to do different categories within my Bible study. So that's what is back there. So I like having that stuff right next to my actual like Bible study stuff right here on the same shelf. And then down here, I have my toddler's little paint sticks and little dot markers that she has been using for just beginning like shape and coloring and just fun stuff. So that is what that is. So that is everything as far as our school supplies go, as far as the supplies for this particular hutch. So the only thing I have on this shelf down here is I have a whole bunch of these little soft blocks that my toddlers both love playing. She will sit here and just stack up blocks forever. Of course, they'll all come out and she'll do them on the floor. And then also down here, let me stack up the cards here, it's a little bit of a mess, is I have another little box of blocks that my toddlers also love playing with and building words with. And things like that. So that's all that's in there are like the 2 sets of blocks. And then on the second one over there, I have, which she just grabbed, I have 2 baskets, one of like markers and crayons, and then I just have like that little Melissa and Doug puzzle down there that I got the kiddos for Christmas. I do, at least now, I've been implementing a toy rotation. So what goes down here is going to vary from like, not week to week, but probably month to month. So we're in February now. So I'm actually probably gonna take this out here in a little bit and put some other things down here just to have something new. I don't put everything out at once because it's too much and I don't have the storage and everything. So I've been trying to do more of a very strategic toy rotation for the kids. So that's all that's in there. What's down here, let me open it up here real quick. I have like all of my preschool activities. So these are all kinds of like little preschool things or things that I love doing with both of my little toddlers. I have an 18-month-old now and then a 3-year-old. She'll be 4 in August. So she's gonna be probably in preschool this fall. So some of her favorite things that she loves doing is she loves doing the acorn soup game. She loves this. This is actually a game for the whole family, but the soup Scrabble game, she likes doing this. Spot It, there's Spit a Space. So just all kinds of like preschool type educational activities are in this drawer. You gonna get something out? See, little miss here saw that I was doing the video, so she came and got all of the baskets out. So this is our floor right now. So this hutch here is actually the one that was out in our school space. We ended up bringing it in here because we did need the storage space to kind of fill in for our extra school supplies. Yeah, that's what that is. So for this hutch, this is actually very similar to the other one as far as the contents, and this one is a lot of like activities and crafts. So I have like a lot of different stamps and stuff that the kids like using with their markers and ink. In this basket, I have a lot of our little readers from The Good and the Beautiful that my not kindergartner, she's first grader, still will look at occasionally. And I wanted to keep those because I think their readers are actually beautiful and they do a really good job with them. So I have those in there. In this basket, I have miscellaneous like craft things. Not everything is perfectly organized, but I know where everything is at, so that's all that matters. I do have a small jar of like pom-poms in here for crafts. I have some glitter glue, which you can tell there's not much left in that one. And then I have our larger caddy. Now typically I'll leave this on the table, but on our table right now it's just a basket of colored pencils because that's what my children are preferring right now as far as coloring with. So I put a lot of the crayons in here. And then down here all I have is our Abacus, and then I have a couple of puzzles down here. Now I do keep puzzles in a separate space, however I rotate what goes in here because it helps me be intentional with what to work on I should say, with my 3-year-old. So I have a letter puzzle, and this one is just one for my 18-month-old. So these are their main school puzzles, and I'll switch these out every other week, you know, for something fun. And then this is just an overflow basket of our felt letters that we use for our felt board. So those are the things that are inside of this. It's not a lot, but again, I did need the space and brought that in here. So this shelf is where I keep all of my actual every single day curriculum type things. Each child has their own little compartment, and of course we have our read-aloud projects and things like that. So I have everything for my first grader, I have everything for my second grader, and then I have everything in here as well for our read-alouds. And this is all of our gentle and classical curriculum in here as well. So this shelf really is our shelf that I pull from every single day when it comes to doing our homeschool. So another few things in the way I like organizing our home, and this is, it could be related to homeschool, it could not. This is just like our day-to-day living and our kind of lifestyle and what we like to do with our children. But on this part of the basket, I do use a basket to separate things, but in this part is like our devotionals, our character stories, lifestyle type things, but really our biblical type books that we use with the kiddos. And then on this side is actually all of our read-alouds that we use for our 5 in a row curriculum, gentle and classical. So I keep all of these books separate from our other bookshelf because otherwise it just becomes too much. So at the beginning of the year, or beginning of the week, I should say, if I'm doing 5 in a row or if I'm doing gentle and classical, I will go through, get all the books, put them aside, or if I need to buy any, and just keep them all in one place. It just makes my life easier when it comes to the day-to-day homeschool things. So this cabinet down here is actually the last cabinet that I have designated in the main school space when it comes to organizing our homeschool. And I'm gonna say homeschool lightly again for this one. This has nothing to do with homeschool. It's just like an activity cabinet for specifically my toddler. So as I mentioned, when we lost the school space, we also lost our play area. And this cabinet, I ended up cleaning out. I put all of our extra groceries that were originally in here. This cabinet actually faces towards the living room, not towards the kitchen, so it actually works perfectly doing it this way. But I ended up putting all of our little activities in here that had a lot of pieces. So it really is an activity cabinet, not necessarily just a toy. Obviously there are toys in here, like their little critters and stuff in here. But for the most part, a lot of them are activity based. I have like our little ball and scoop here that she likes putting the balls into the cups. She also loves and has been loving recently the veggies that I showed you at the beginning of the video came with these little bushels. So she will color sort all the veggies and fruits and stuff into the color coordinating little bushels. That's what this activity is. Both of my toddlers love it. Another one of her favorites is this little honeybee thing, great for fine motor skills. So that is in here. There's a wooden puzzle. There's a little activity cube in here that she also loves playing with. There's also a little lock barn down here that she loves. And then my 18-month-old loves Spike the Hedgehog, which is in here as well. So this is the last actual designated space that I have in the main living area when it comes to all of our homeschool and play things and everything like that. So I sat down to do my outro, but I forgot to show you a couple more things. Anyway, okay. So the last couple of things I did end up taking from our schoolroom and putting them in the main space of our house is this white rolling cart that we've utilized so much over the past couple of years. In the top tier, I have all of our pencils. I have that giant jar of wooden letters that I use with my toddlers, just a standard globe that we use for all of our activities and stuff. On the bottom, I have, it looks like there's some pencils in there, but it's supposed to be just crayons. And then on the side here, I have like some chalkboards. And then in the bottom, I have a couple of more puzzles for my toddlers to do like during school time and things like that. And then on the table over here, I have just like a basket of pencils that my kiddos use multiple times every single day. So I never put these away. I will pretty much always have some type of like a pencil or crayon caddy on the table. That way they can access it pretty much whenever they want. Okay, I think now I can sit down and do the outro, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I've organized our homeschool room, or not really homeschool room, but homeschool things without a homeschool room. I am actually really excited to jump into the spring and the summer here, especially as we're planning that project, kind of best seeing how it will serve our family when it comes to creating that bedroom space. But I also really appreciate the fact that when we are homeschooling within our actual home, it makes that entire atmosphere really come to life with the learning. So as you saw throughout the videos, every single area in our home quite literally has to do with homeschooling. Like there is no separation between homeschooling and living, and I do love that aspect of it. Even though, yes, I do miss my space out there where I could keep everything in one place, but I also really, again, do appreciate the fact that it is interwoven when it is within our living space. So I do like that, and I do like how it's also made me be extremely intentional with eliminating things that either we were not using at all, things that we hadn't even touched in like a year, we just donated, and things like that. So it's really simplified our home in a way. So I'm actually very thankful that that room did have water damage, because it really did have us as a family worked together to create a more simplified space so it wasn't one of overwhelm and one of overwhelming. Because once we cleaned out that room and brought all that stuff into our home, we're like, we have a lot of stuff. And a lot of it we might not even use or need or want. And so even when the kiddos were helping us declutter, as I mentioned in my January recap video, even when they were helping us declutter everything, going through things that they didn't want, I was amazed at what they were gathering up as far as things that they did not want or need, or maybe they wanted to donate. So that was a huge eye-opener for me, where the things that they genuinely love and love playing with are things that of course were kept, but it was very little into comparison to what I thought it would be. So it's just a blessing of simplifying. And the greatest benefit so far of just really cutting down on a lot of that is there's very minimal clutter. All the hutches came from either hand-me-downs. That one was from a yard sale. The one over there was a hand-me-down from my great aunt, I believe. And yeah, nothing was bought, and switching everything around, and yet everything feels new and refreshed, and we didn't have to buy anything. So I always love it when that happens. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching and for being here. I would love to have you join our family. You can do so by subscribing down below. And until my next video, you guys have a great day, whatever you're doing, and God bless. Bye guys.